Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. Welcome back. So, hopefully, everybody did your course on Islam in a nutshell, where we talked about the 6 pillars of faith, right? So, we talked about you must believe in Allah, and you must believe in angels, and His, books, and the prophets, and the divine decree, right? Divine will. 3, 4, 5, and then we also had, of course, the afterlife, right? And then after that, you have to prove that you submit, right? And number one act of submission is, of course, testifying, right? Saying, I believe in God, right? So we had the testimony of faith. Testimony of faith. But the pillar right after that is prayer. And when I'm talking about prayer, I'm talking about not just, saying, oh God, I love you and please forgive me and, just putting your hands up. Not that. I'm talking something very strict, something very disciplined that is done throughout the day and is done 5 times a day. And if you have heard about Muslims praying 5 times a day, this is the prayer that I'll be talking about 5 times a day. And then we, of course, in Arabic, it's about time. Again, if you are a non-Muslim, and you're taking this course, I would suggest go back to Islam in a nutshell and just, really think about those, the pillars that I talked about briefly. And if you have any questions, contact us. Go to contact and ask us, if you have any questions about that. Then the reason why I say that is because this is act of submission. Now, you don't need to learn how a Muslim prays in order to realize that, yep, this must be the true faith that I'm looking for. Okay, the key is believing in all of this and saying, yep, I believe in God. Now tell me what to do, right? So first step will be taking a testimony of faith and then learning how to pray. So if you're not a Muslim, again, if you're just doing it for academic purpose, go ahead. You guys are definitely welcome to take this. But what I'm suggesting is that if you are a new Muslim or who has been Muslim for a long time, take this course because this is something that is very important and it's referred to as Salah. If you're from Indo-Pak area, from Pakistan or India or that part of the world, the Southeast Asia, then usually this is called namaz, right? But I'm talking about the Arabic term. It is salah. In English, we call it prayer. Now, there's different types of prayer, but what I'm referring to is these 5 daily prayers that we do. So we'll be going into a lot of topics in depth in order to really understand, because when a new Muslim or a Muslim who wants to learn about prayer or salah gets into a lot of complication in terms of there's a lot of Arabic terminology that is used. As you can see on the screen, the only Arabic terminology that I've used is salah. So I'll be using a lot of English terminology, but of course we have to learn how to pray in Arabic. But it's targeted to English-speaking audience, somebody who's not very well versed with the language of Arabic. Of course, you just became Muslim. You're not going to know Arabic, but the key is this is very easy to follow, easy to digest and understand. This methodology of prayer. We'll be talking about many topics, very important topics, such as importance. Why are we praying, right? We'll talk about importance. Is it mandatory? Is it, something you have to do? Is it compulsory? All of those topics. A purification. You go for an interview and you dress up and you look all nice, but if you're going to stand in front of Allah, the one who created you, then there's some etiquettes. And part of it is to be in a clean state. And a clean state, what does it mean? Does it mean you have to, take a bath with, with soap and shampoo and must use conditioner? No, there's some, there are some laws and regulations that you must know. How do you purify yourself, right? How do you even take a bath? So I'm sorry about that. How do you even take a bath? Now, you start thinking about it, man, what kind of religion is this which is teaching you how to bath? Actually, that should give you a very calm understanding, something that should strengthen your faith that, man, this must be the truth, that it goes into detail aspects of your life on how do you take shower, how do you use bathroom, how do you purify yourself, and those are all important matters as in a life of a human being, and so everything is detailed out, and so I'll be going through that as well. How do you dress when you're standing in front of your Lord? Again, this is the best way to get closer to Allah. We'll talk about some of the rulings about mosque as well. How do you pray at a mosque? in congregation? How do you pray by yourself? How do you even, concentrate in your prayer? Were you in this mode of tranquility, and you're in front of your Lord, and it's just concentrating, nothing about the world? And how do you attain that concentration, right? And of course, how to pray. The most important aspect. How do I even pray? Tell me how to pray. So we'll be getting into topics of how to pray. What do you recite? The different times that you have to pray. And again, you're taking a big oath in your life. You're becoming Muslim. You want to become Muslim, and now it's like, okay, tell me what to do, and you're told that you must pray, and this is a true testimony of your faith, that you this is how you show that, yes, I believe, and you leave everything, whatever you're doing, and just 5 times throughout your 24 hours a day, just for like 5 or 10 minutes each, where you get to be in front of your Lord, and you totally forget about what you're doing. So we'll be going into, so that's why it's a very important matter, and we had to have a lesson just on this topic of prayer. And this is one of the pillars. Remember, there's fasting as well, right? We know the different pillars. There's fasting, and there's pilgrimage, and then there's charity. I might not have a lesson right away on each of these, but maybe fast. But this was one of the most important ones that I had to have a detailed lesson or a course just on talking about how do we pray in Islam. Of course, there's other topics as well that we'll be covering, like the congregation of Friday prayer, right? That Muslims get together on Friday prayer. Well, what are the rulings of that? And of course, other miscellaneous topics as well. But this is something that we'll be covering in detail. This is not a nutshell course, right? So this is very detailed, because I want to make sure that everybody understand what you're getting into when you say that you're about to pray, and the rulings, and how do you purify yourself, what are the etiquettes, and all that. So let's get started. Start taking the course. Click on the button where it says start taking the course, and follow all the lessons that we have. Inshallah, God willing, goal is to make sure that each lesson is less than 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. But yeah, we'll have about 30 plus lessons. So a lot of material to cover, but take one step at a time. If you're just a new Muslim, take it easy, take it one step at a time. But one thing I must say is a disclaimer that you're not going to learn by watching some videos online. Whatever, we are teaching on Muslim How, you're going to have to implement it in your life. Find a Muslim buddy, Muslim brother or Muslim sister who can help you out in advancing you in your relationship with the Lord of the worlds, the one who created you, Allah, the most glorious, the most high. We'll see you soon. Thank you.